to the Monday Night Live Owner Forum call. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks very much for having me on, Charles. This is a treat, and looks like you got a good batch of active investors on the call. So,
oh, you must be looking at the wrong group. You're like, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
They look
okay. So let's talk about. You've got a free book that you could get out to everybody. You've got, your focus is on raising the money, finding money partners. You've got to try to get it down to a system.
My whole focus is I am a real estate entrepreneur, a marketer at heart, and for the last 5 or 6 years, my main focus has been on applying marketing to finding investors and raising capital for our deals. So I also invest in multifamily properties. I realized a long time ago I'm much better at the marketing and the shaking the tree than dealing with tenants and toilets. So I partner up with people that are better at that, and I help raise the money, and I get a piece of the equity in the deals is basically what I do these days. And then I also help other folks just like you guys find investors, raise capital for their deals. Because I don't know, Charles, have you seen this? It's quite often people get to a point where they run out of cash and or credit to build their portfolio, and they kind of get stuck. I don't know. Has that happened to any of your guys?
Well, that actually happened to me on the first deal. The second deal I did. The first deal I did, we used friends and family money. And then the bank came along and said, "Hey, you want to buy the property across the street?" And I said, "Well, I'm all out of friends and I'm all out of family, so I don't have. I'm tapped." And they were so kind enough to let me purchase it with 100% financing.
Nice.
Well, not really, because if you listen to my story, when you go no money down, 100% seller financing. Sometimes there's a reason why the seller's willing to give you 100% financing. So
makes sense.
Buyer beware. Yeah.
Fair enough. And then the other thing I found, Charles, is a lot of what's out there as far as finding investors, raising capital, really works well for people that are naturally salesy. People that can pick up the phone and start dialing for dollars, people that can get out there and start glad handing and schmoozing and turning every conversation into a real estate conversation. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I found, or maybe it's us Canadians or a shire batch, but it's just a lot of people don't really like doing that. They're not naturally good at it. They're a little bit on the shy side. So basically, what I did is I applied marketing principles to finding investors and raising capital. So I kind of twisted things around. Instead of what can I do instead of chasing after people, how can I arrange things so they actually come to me instead of me always running after them? Does that make sense? Yep.
What you're telling me is that you're saying that multifamily investing is a sales and marketing business.
It definitely is. And raising capital is a marketing business. It's the same thing. This is a component of the multifamily business. And I came up with this kind of 5-step process. I tweaked it. I worked on it myself. When I first started dialing this in, I was focusing on doing smaller deals, so lease options, rent-to-own deals. And then I since worked up and started getting into multifamilies. So myself with this, I've raised millions of bucks for my own deals. At this point, it's actually about 4.5 million. But more importantly, with my clients and students and whatnot, they've raised in the hundreds of millions of dollars following this process. So I think it might work pretty well for your guys too. Step number 3, now that we know who our target group is, we've broken the ice with them, we got our presentation all ready to go. Now it's time to kick up the marketing. And marketing is the little engine that could for all things business. Definitely true for your real estate investing business. So when it comes to our raising capital marketing, what I suggest to everybody is you start with one thing and do it consistently. Start with one thing and do it consistently. Then you can add on more stuff after that if you want. But get that flagship, what we call flagship communication, get that going. And again, my favorite thing is video. And it's not just because I'm so damn good looking, Charles, but it's because...
That's definitely another reason, dude. That's definitely another reason. See, when you take control of the screen, I only get to look at Brendan Chisholm and Richard Bardinelli, and these guys are they're a tough audience. They're not even laughing at my jokes. So this is I can't tell what other
That's
people.
because they're being polite. They're taking notes. All right.
Yeah. Someone like them though. They're never this polite. So.
So we start with one marketing strategy, one tactic, do it consistently. Videos, I like video logs. So if you're not familiar with what a video log is, typically it's like a 3 to 5 minute long little video lesson about something to do with what you're doing with real estate. So
Hey, let me just say that I do a vlog. We call them vlogs here in the States. We're a lot more hip than you guys are. And I do a vlog every Saturday. And Deb gets it out. It's a matter of fact, it's taken predominantly from this call. She grabs, 6 to 8 minutes of it, and it goes out every single Saturday. You would not believe the responses I get back from that. People love it, and it's amazing. Except Deb has now changed it, because there's usually a time in one of these calls when I start to badmouth brokers, and then Deb grabs that clip and then sends it out to the world, and oh man, you would not believe some of the emails I get back.
All sorts of responses. I'm sure you get.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So what I suggest people do is you actually batch these things up, because most people aren't doing these kind of training things. They're just doing their own thing. So, come up with a theme and then crank out a bunch of video logs. Like take a Saturday morning and crank out 5, 8, 10, 12 video logs, so you can set them up and set them and forget it, and you don't have to worry about it again, right? So pick a theme. So it could be, like you're talking about, the big benefits of multifamily investing. Why multifamily investing versus everything and anything else out there? And I'm sure you could come up with the top 10 reasons pretty quickly, or more. It could be why you like to invest in your particular market. It could be even something as general as why real estate versus everything and anything else out there investment-wise. That's a pretty easy one. It could be, compare and contrast real estate to the stock market. It could be, the 7 or however you count it, the 7 or 8 different profit centers in a real estate investment deal. And then you don't do all 8 in one video log. You do one video log for each profit center.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 3 to 5 minutes. Now, here's the other important thing that I had to learn the hard way, Charles, is we always have to remember that the people that are watching our video logs are not real estate freakoids like us. They're normal human beings.
That is so huge. You walk in there and you're going to start talking cap rate with them, and they're just going to be blown away. Like, whoa. That is. You've got to bring these people along in that sales pitch.
Yeah, and it's more educational. I'm not even all that pitchy on this kind of stuff. It's educational, and more important, they don't really even want to learn about real estate, but what they want to know is that you know what the hell you're talking about. You know what you're doing. So if and when they invest with you, it's in good hands. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, I'm all about educational marketing versus bashing them over the head with sales messages. Now, here's the reason, Charles, is what I found is if you have to sell somebody on investing with you, you have to convince somebody, if you have to strong arm somebody or manipulate somebody into investing their money with you, that person is going to become a nightmare investor.
Okay. Let's stress this. This is huge. I mean, if anybody before the deal closes wants their money back, give them their money back. You don't want that person in the deal. And that's the thing about this. When you do a multifamily deal, these investors are your friends. They're your partners in this thing, and you've got to make sure that you can get along with them, and you've got some good people on board. We had some great people in our deals, but that's the thing is you don't. And if you start going out looking for money with people you don't know, you never know what you're going to get.